Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Here on the table today, we've got I'm presuming to be a Colonial knife. You can see the tang stamp just says USA on it. And for some reason, I guess this was a budget runs by Colonial, but they had the habit of just stamping USA on the blade. There may have been other knife companies that did that. You can see we got very heavy rust here on the blades. And a lot of rust down in there. Let's see if we can get the flashlight on here. There we go. Look down in there. You can see it's really dark and rusted down in there. It's a Saturday afternoon. I was kind of bored, didn't know what to do. Wanted to work on knives somehow, some way, and I thought, you know what? This is not a fancy knife, but this is one of those knives out of the basket of knives I got here several months ago, and it deserves to be cleaned up because you can tell it's an extremely budget knife. See, these plastic covers are just riveted on, but it's unique because look at that. Second blade's got the cap lifter there, so this was a handy dandy little knife, even though it's a budget knife. So let's just see what we can do to clean it up. Got some rubbing compound out here. That stuff really heavy on there. I might have had this in the rust remover here a while back. I don't remember. Let's just see what we can get cleaned off and just see what we got to do to this knife. I just want to have some relaxing fun this afternoon. So let's get started. I'm using this kind of a wheel on it. It's kind of like a Scotch-Brite pad type material. This is the lightest or the most gentlest one, I guess. I've got some other that are more heavy duty, but you got to be careful. It'll really scratch the blades up. So I just go over it very lightly just to see what we can get removed. Very lightly. You see it's starting to come off a little bit here. But we've got a lot to remove. I'll try to get some of it off and then probably throw it in some rust remover for a while. And just give it a head start here. Hadn't really done a good knife cleaning in a while. Haven't done a video, that's for sure, for a while. I just thought this was a good one to work on. Relaxing for me. Stress relief. Yep, she's looking better already. Yep, I'm going to need to throw in some rust remover, I think. Whoa, look at that now. Didn't want to close, did it? There we go. We might get some good walk and talk out of this thing yet. Well, these knives are nothing to write home about, but you know what? They're Americana. Made in the USA. Yeah, got quite a bit of it off of there, didn't we? You know what? She might just clean up very nicely. Not bad for a little bit of work there. Get that rust, get it soaking in rust remover and loosen that stuff up some more. That side's really pretty bad there. Okay, let's just see what we got down in here. And what should we start with? Some like 600 grit. Let's see what we can come up with here. An old piece of 600 grit sandpaper. We'll get down in there. Boy, that's really rusty down in there. I think I'm going to start with something heavier. What's this, 400? I think this is 400 grit. I think we're going to need a little more heavy duty down in here. And that's okay, because if you scratch down in there, no one looks down in there. See what we can get loosened up down in there. Wow, it's pretty tough. Okay. Not sure I'm doing much. Not sure. Well, yeah, it's loosening up some stuff. See if can we get right in here. Too thick. Trying to get this area right here. Okay. Just check and see what we got. See if we're doing any good here. I'm not so sure. There. Maybe I just need to scrape first here. Here, we're getting some stuff out of there. Get the bigger screwdriver. Okay, let's check our back springs here real quick. Doesn't show very good. Not much of it showing there. Getting some stuff off of there though. Huh. Seems like you gotta fold that one in first. Looks like it's bent in just slightly. Getting a little bit of stuff off there. Okay. A lot of back springs here. I think I'm just going to let this soak in some rust remover. You can see we got, looks like rust down in here. Yep. We'll see if we can't get this all cleaned up here. Okay, we got to start on it. Let's see what's going on with this knife. Now, this is one of those projects I started and then got set aside for a while because I got busy with other things. And, you know, I like to do one knife and finish it and then move on to the next, but things got kind of crazy. So when we last left off, I think I had soaked it in some rust remover, and then into some mineral oil, let it soak, and then I think I hit it with the rubbing compound. Now, whoops, there's a prime example. I just got interrupted. Where's my thoughts here? Okay, so I think I hit it with the rubbing compound one more time. This is kind of how we're looking. It's cleaned up very nicely. I also cleaned up these rivets here, and I got to looking at the handle, and it looks like it was painted. And the reason I tell that, there's a big old glob of paint, I think, on this one here. And I got it all cleaned out of there. To try to make it look a little cleaner, because it looks kind of dirty, I used some like 2500 grit sandpaper and just lightly went over it, and it's kind of cleaned up these handles just a little bit. Doesn't make it look quite so dirty. Yeah, but it still shows its age. And you can see I cleaned a lot of rust out of those holes. I took the Dremel with the wire brush, and I cleaned off the back springs here just a little bit, and I think I sanded down in here just a little bit more. Let me see what we got here. But anyway, this knife is cleaning up very nicely. Okay, guess I haven't wiped it out since I got it out of the mineral oil. Get some more junk out of there. It's looking a lot cleaner. Now, it does have pretty decent walk and talk. Good snap there, but when we go to close this one, you'll see it hangs up there. And one of the reasons is, it looks like that frame is bent just a little bit. What I've done in the past, it's got a couple pieces of metal here. These are covers for electrical boxes. And sometimes I'm able to just push those down in there and twist and pry just a little bit. Don't want to do too much to it. Sometimes it don't take a whole lot. Getting closer, getting closer. Just do it a little bit at a time. You don't want to break anything. But it looks like it's right in here. I think I moved it out just a little bit right there. Oh, we're ever so close. Well, I'll keep working on that. See if I can get that bent back out again. But we're looking really nice. Well, this poor knife, I've been trying to finish this video on it, and it just hasn't been working out. And I just got to tell you straight up, right now, I'm into about day 3 of having COVID, and I really don't know how this is going to finish up. I'm trying to power through this because I'm tired of sleeping. I'm tired of being in bed. Had to try to do something. So let's just try polishing this thing up. I think it's looking pretty good, this poor old knife. I've been working on it for, I don't know, a couple months now. Work on it a little bit and set it aside. Wow. Let's get her shined up though. So I'm just going to go over it one more time here with some rubbing compound. Go over it briefly. And see how much better that this is cleaned up. It's looking pretty good actually, considering the shape it was in. The last few days I haven't even really been on YouTube. I know there's been some good videos put out there, and I gotta tell you, I just have not been in the mood to watch knife videos or even think about knives. That's looking good. Just gonna touch this one up brief, and then we'll throw her in the ultrasonic cleaner. See what else we can get out of it. This is one of those knives. It's not a fancy knife. In fact, it's a cheap budget knife from the day. And it's the kind of knife you might carry in your picnic basket because you've got a cap lifter on it. Some of you watching might not ever remember the day when we didn't have plastic bottles with the twist-off cap. It used to be you always wanted to have a cap lifter nearby. And I'll tell you what, the soda coming out of a glass bottle tastes so much better than this stuff we get nowadays in the plastic bottles. There's a difference between night and day. But anyway, that's what we're looking like. I still can't get that one to fall down in. I'll work on that some more. But I'm just not in the mood to really work on it. It's looking pretty clean down in there. Let's just wipe it out once. And then we're going to throw it in our sonic cleaner here. But I've gotten rid of all the rust down in there, I do believe. So yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, let's throw it in the sonic cleaner. Well, this is how we're looking. Got a little bit of stuff out there. The water's a little bit cloudy. Watch it drip there. Got some dirty oil coming out of there. At least we know it's clean and all the hard to get to spots. And I'm just going to dry it off, and I got a fresh tub of clean mineral oil, and we'll throw it in there to let it soak, just to displace any moisture that we got into the knife. And then we'll come up, put some final touches on the knife, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. There, whoops. There we go. Well, after the mineral oil, I took it out and wiped it all off. This is what we look like here. And looking at it, I don't even think we need to polish these blades anymore. It looks pretty good. Looks good enough to set aside, put up for storage. We've preserved it, gotten rid of the rust, and we've made a vast improvement on this knife. See there, we got good walk and talk on this blade. And actually, the walk and talk's pretty good on the secondary blade. I still got to get that frame bent out just a little more. But these are the kinds of knives that just bring back nostalgia for me growing up. You know, when we traveled down a 2-lane road, packed a picnic basket with some sandwiches in it, maybe a small cooler with a soda or two in it. And as you traveled, we didn't stop at convenience stores. We found a little roadside park somewhere, and we'd stop and eat our lunch. Yeah, back in the good old days. A little bit of nostalgia there. Back to a simpler time. That's what this knife represents to me. Well, I've been, as I said earlier, I'm not feeling the best. Down with the COVID, but I powered through it. I needed to get this knife finished up. I needed to do something. Take things off my mind here just a little bit. But I will say, until next time, have a very delightful day.